Hey my beloveds. So today we are doing a cooking video. I know it's been a while since I've uploaded a cooking video. However, I have so much content. I'm just finally in a position where I'm able to sit down, edit, put it all together so I can get it up for you. And today we're just doing smash burgers and french fries. I really wanted to do this meal because I'm all for convenient, quick, easy meals. And of course, I know how to make a burger. So for me to say this is my first attempt, this is just my first attempt at smashing a burger all the way down. And of course, the more you smash it, the easier, the quicker it cooks. So for me, I love that. Anything that's quick, easy, gets me in and out the kitchen and still gives me a tasty meal for my husband, my children, and myself, I'm all for it. So I'm hoping that you stick around and you enjoy the video. First things first, I did wash my hands before filming because I understood that I would be making these burgers by hand and I'm not going to have any gloves on. And so right now what you just see me doing is just breaking up the hamburger meat so I can get all these seasonings all up and through there. And so I began with an HEB all-purpose seasoning. I don't use Lawry's seasoning salt, so it gives me the salt content I need. And then I followed up with some garlic powder. Kind of overdid it because you can't go wrong with garlic powder. You always need a little bit more. And then I went ahead and I used some onion powder with a little bit that I had in this particular jar. I just used that up. And then after I did that, I just went ahead and I put some pepper in it just to end it off, And I didn't feel like I had enough onion powder. So I did grab some more, just put a little bit more in there. Just because, the more flavor, the better. And then my secret ingredient is I always love to use like a jerk marinade, jerk sauce, or even a steak sauce, steak marinade, just to give just some more flavor to my burgers. It's always been a hit. Always make the burgers really tasty. And so that's just a preference. It's optional. Just an idea for somebody who wants to try something different. And so now you just see me getting all those flavors all up and through there. I can't remember just how many pounds I used to make these burgers. I want to say it was like a 3 pound, so like 3 pounds of hamburger meat for my family that'll be eaten up in one night. For other families that could last them a week, but that's just my family. And so right now you see I'm just going ahead and I'm just portioning out the size of my hamburgers because I figure I want to make them as consistent as possible. And if one is bigger than the other, one of my hamburger balls is bigger than the other, I'll just take some meat from one, add to another, just to try to make it as equal as possible without being perfect, but just trying to be consistent. That's all. So here I am just trying to figure out how many hamburgers do I have here. I want to say I counted up a good 9 of them, which is plenty, because I figure with these we might have to do some doubles or whatever. So yeah, that's that. So here I am. I'm just going ahead and putting them on the griddle. I don't prep the griddle with butter, oil, none of that. Listen, the hamburger meat itself has enough grease in it. It'll make it grease. That's that. So I just put it right on the griddle. Now here's the thing, y'all. This is where I feel like I could have been a little bit more prepared. But it's good. You just work with what you got. Now, I just had to do some stuff. I had to use one spatula and another spatula because I personally would have preferred to have one of those cast iron smash burger press. And so I actually looked on Amazon before recording to see when it would come, but I'm like, I'm not about to wait for no smash burger press before I make these burgers. Like, it's never that serious. So I worked with what I had, and I used my spatula, 2 spatulas, and that finger too, as you see, just to get that burger off of the spatula, because that's one thing it kept doing is it kept sticking, because it's raw meat to that spatula. But it all worked out, and if you ain't scared of a spatula and a little bit of heat by your hand, I think you'll be good too. Oh, and by the way, y'all gonna see this gum. I was chomping on this gum, y'all. My husband always be like, baby, I gotta feed you. You look like you hungry. But side note, I did go ahead and I used a little bit more garlic powder, as you see. And as you see, this is my second spatula. I was going through some things, but I mean, we got the job done and it was all working out. And I mean, it was smelling real good. It was looking real good. And I'm just like, it's all good. But I still needed my other spatula because I felt like I wanted to smash these burgers down as flat as possible, and understanding like the more I smash them down, the faster they cook. I'm like, this is a hit right here. Even though I do like me a big juicy burger, I think this might be good for somebody who just might want to be in and out of the kitchen, but you want something tasty and you want a burger. Then they start looking real good. I was like, ooh, I think I can do this. But I realized that they were pretty flat. And I'm thinking like, my grown husband, this is like a little cheeseburger. So I just started thinking like, you know what? We're probably going to have a double. Me and my baby going to have a double. And babies, the baby girls can have, you know, a little small smash burger. Because that's one thing I will say is that I love the fact that you can make them like just satisfying. Like you don't have to make them too fat where you're like you just feel like a glutton because you're eating all this burger. But to make it into a double, I think it was perfect. I think it was like just enough, you know, for us. Of course, Marquise probably had two, but still, it was just enough for us. At this point, I'm just doing a couple more little smashes just to get them as flat as possible. But I also had to just be careful not to let too much of the juice out because I still wanted them to be a little juicy even though they were flat. But I think I overdid it a little bit just because I'm like, let's get this done so I can set up for my next set of burgers on the griddle. And my temperature settings, I'm always cooking my temperature like on medium. I never go too high just because I do like for my burgers to not necessarily slow cook, but cook the inside more than it does the outside so that they can still contain that juiciness. And I'm just checking right now just to make sure they put it done because I'm not with the medium rare, the rare. I don't want to see the blood, none of that. Okay, give me brown, give me well done. And I know some people are like, oh, you want your steak? Yes, I do. I will tell them in a heartbeat, I want it well done. I just don't want it burnt. And if you can make it a little juicy for me, I ain't gonna put too much pressure on you because I know I'm at the restaurant. But if I was at home, I know exactly how to make my stuff. And I don't want to see no pink, no red, or none of that. And anybody who knows me, especially my husband, would tell you I don't want to see it. And so, yeah, now I'm just putting some more burgers on so I can go ahead and start getting to the good part, which is the prepping. I normally do all my prepping beforehand, but I was just so anxious to get into these burgers and see how they turned out where I had to do my prepping after it. And I don't like that because most of the time, you know, I prep first so that by the time my burgers are done, they're still warm, hot, and I'm able to just go ahead and put them all together and serve them. But like I said, I was just excited about these burgers, so I went ahead and started with the burgers first. And I actually began counting again as I was going through the filming and realized I actually had 12 smash burgers in total. So it was definitely plenty. I remember it being plenty, but yeah, just wanted to add that in, correct that, because I know initially I said it was 9. And one thing I like about trial runs is like my first 5 was some trial runs. So like by the time I went from my second set, I was already on to it. I knew exactly how to smash these burgers down. I knew exactly what I had to do to get it off the spatula. So everything was moving a little faster. now just going through with a little bit of garlic powder because I went ahead and washed my hands after this this little segment. Came back, readjusted some stuff. My husband got me this cute Christian apron that I just love so much, but I gotta figure out how to put it on because, honey, I was just going through some things. It was falling apart and I was trying to get my burgers done, but it's so cute. I got it off of Amazon. If y'all want something real inspirational and something to wear while you're cooking so you don't mess up your clothes, check it out. Yeah, I don't know. The girl is cooking over here and it's looking real good. And as I stated before, don't mind the chomping on the gum, okay? I think I was also just focused. So when I was focused, I was just chomping on that gum. But I was looking in this video and I'm like, girl, I knew it was smelling good. I knew it was looking good. And I could tell I was hungry. But that gum was good too. That gum was good too. Also, normally, like with my first set of hamburgers, I would have already put cheese on it. I like to put the cheese on while they're still hot. But I want to say, because these burgers were just cooking so fast and I was ready to get the other set on, I just kind of like bypassed that part of what I normally do when I make burgers. But the cool thing about it was that I kind of put them up so that they would stay warm. And so by the time I put the cheese on, I mean, they were warm enough for the cheese to still melt, because that's the big thing for me. Like, my husband, that's one thing we do when we make our burgers. We immediately put that cheese on those burgers, and it's just, I don't know, it just tastes better. Not that there's anything wrong with just like, nah, everything's wrong with it. I like it when it's warm. And that's about it. Finishing all up. I had a little bit of hamburger meat that kept breaking off these little smash burgers, so I decided to give my babies that just so they can taste a little piece of mama's cooking, because they love mama's cooking. And so I left a little bit on the griddle so I could break that up and give it to my girls. And voila, there you have it. My first attempt at some smash burgers, and they were pretty good. Like I said, the biggest thing is I would probably get a smash press moving forward, just so that it could smash a lot easier and I didn't have to use so many different utensils or risk getting burnt trying to, smash the burgers out. But yeah, they enjoyed it. They said it was so good, as always. Everything looking good. As for my vegetables, I pre-wash all of my vegetables prior to filming. I just don't include that stuff in the filming. It's just additional stuff. I just don't want to go through editing. I just think as long as we know that's what we're supposed to do with vegetables, that's all that matters. Like, I don't have to include that in my videos. But yeah, I did that for my tomatoes, and I also do it for my lettuce. Even though it comes pre-cut and pre-washed, I do an additional, cutting. Now let's talk about these pickles. I don't know what they were doing in my refrigerator. I forget what we used them for, but because I'm like, I just got to make use of them, because if not, they're just going to go to waste. Honey, I don't know if I was going for relish. My husband was like, so what was this? I don't know. I think it was little small burgers, so I thought little small pickles, why not? And so yeah, just pretty much doing what you do, to get some burgers prepped and ready to serve. I definitely could have split these fries up. As you see, I have 2 drawers. That's what it's for. I ran into some problems a little later, as you will see in the video. But at the time, that second drawer wasn't clean, and I didn't feel like cleaning it as I had already started recording. But I ended up having to clean it anyway after filming, which I probably could have took some time, just cleaned it. But it's cool. I did have to go ahead and split the fries because I found I put too much in one drawer and it just was not cooking at the rate that I needed it to, because it was just too many fries. But yeah, there go my little pickles. And then I got my tomatoes, my lettuce, I got my condiments out. As you see, my burgers are over there. I probably could have kept my burgers in the warmer while I waited, but I don't know, I was just ready to get everything together, and I just didn't consider that these fries was going to take a little bit more time. And so yeah, just those are the trials and errors in the kitchen, but this is everything pretty much complete, and everything's looking good, ready for me to prep and serve it to my babies. At this moment, this is when I found out, girl, it's too many fries in here. And so that's when I decided to just go ahead and split the fries up. But hey, it's the joy of, being in the kitchen and just going through the motions. But yeah, everything was looking good, and my burgers weren't extremely hot, but they were just warm enough for some of the cheese to melt on it. And so I was like, okay, I'm satisfied. But just some things I would have done differently is I would have prepped first, like I normally do. Have that second drawer cleaned out, not just for the fries, but because on the Ninja air fryer there's a warming setting where you could just keep like food warm that's already cooked. So I would have had my burgers going, but hey, that's the beautiful part of just getting it done. And look at my little pickles, y'all. I mean, it was cute. I mean, and it got the job done, because for one, the kids enjoyed it, the little pickles, because honestly, I don't like pickles on my burger. I love pickles, but I don't like warm pickles. So I don't like pickles that are on burgers. I can eat it cold, but that's about it for me. But yeah, everything's looking good. Everything turned out good. Everything was delicious. And I'm satisfied. Like, it's definitely a 10 out of 10. I would definitely advise anybody who wants to make a quick and easy meal. Like, there's nothing wrong with getting you some frozen fries, putting it in the air fryer, and making up some little small little burgers, and got your little meal. Saved you some money. You didn't have to eat out, and then you didn't have to be in the kitchen a lot longer than you probably would have wanted doing anything else. And it all worked out. So I'm satisfied. My kids were satisfied. Husband definitely satisfied when he got off of work because, yeah, I don't even think he knew I was making burgers. And I think my family just loves my burgers. So it's like, ooh, burgers. So it was a surprise and exciting. And it was also good too. So it was all cool. And of course, this is always a mother's joy, being able to see the excitement on my baby's faces when they're grabbing their plates because they're excited about their burgers, and just thanking God for the grace and strength to stand in this kitchen and do what I need to do to ensure my children and my husband especially have a warm meal to eat, thanking him for every provision and just making sure we're not in lack of anything. And so it's all good with me. And in closing, as always, you all remain blessed. Until next time, shalom, shalom.